Hi, Carol here. A warm welcome back to my craft room. It's so nice to be doing this tutorial for LDRS Creative. It's a 6.5 by 5 3/4 inch card, and I'm going to begin with my 140-pound cardstock as always, and I'm going to add my gusset for the inside. And you can see it here. The reason why I put gussets in my cards is because I bulk up the inside. I always have three-dimensional objects on the inside of my cards, which means I'm going to need room. So what I did is I took my score tool, my little scoreboard here, my Martha Stewart scoreboard, and I added the gussets. What I did was let's move that out and I'll get this object to show you. So here we go. I put it in and I want to make it at least 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to move backwards at the 1/2 inch mark. So I'll show you this so it makes sense to you. And it makes sense to me, to both of us. So here's the 1/2 inch. So I moved it over and I worked backwards. So I had three. Yeah, I'm going to turn it over so it looks better. So you have the 1/2 inch, then I move it over one line and another line there. So it gives me 3/4 of an inch to work with. And I'll show you that when I go to score it flat. You can make it as, as full as you want. And that just means whatever you're going to put on the inside, you're going to have to raise your cover page up. And that's why I use the gusset. So I'm going to put some score tape on this. And it's a 1/2 inch. It works out to be a 1/2 inch gusset. So that's 1/2 inch tape. And I'm going to add my next piece. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is my 140-pound cardstock. And I love this cardstock because it's thick. And you know me, I like everything thick. And I appreciate you waiting up for my tutorials to come out. Not that you're waiting up. Yeah, but you're waiting on my tutorials. Oh my. Not only did the pneumonia put me down, but I have been crazy busy. Look at this. Yeah, I love this. I love the purple. I don't work with purples very often, but I find this very cute. This image hanging out is adorable. But what's terrible about this, and I'm just straightening up my card base with the gusset there, and the terrible part about this is I didn't turn the camcorder on when I was Copic coloring. I want to apologize for that. There's nothing I can do about it when I noticed it, kind of, but a great big sigh, and I had to move on. Because I don't want to get discouraged because of things that, that was my fault and I didn't check it. So, yeah, I end up reaping not having the coloring portion. But I have a lot of other portions in here that I want to show to you. And what I did, I took the plaid stencil and I went over the image, just putting a little piece of paper over top of the animals. And I did it with my Copic air compressor, with my Copic markers, obviously, because it's a Copic color tutorial. And I just smoothly went over the stencil with the Copics. And then you just take an alcohol wipe and the Copic markers will come right off your stencil. Now, what I noticed, because I put so many score marks in it, that it tore. But don't be alarmed, please. Don't be alarmed just because you tear something. That's why they make Scotch tape, right? Yes, I have it close by all the time. I'm going to put the Scotch tape on, and then I'm going to worry what I'm going to do over top of it later. I'm not going to give it a second's thought. I'll just Scotch tape it up, and then I'll move on to creating the actual card base. So, yeah, that thing just keeps getting in the way, doesn't it? Yeah, because I'm too nosy and I want to read my emails. I think that's what it is. So here we go. I've got the tape on it. That's not going to move, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing, right, because it's opening and closing. Now, I took some glitter paper, and I took the marvelous 6x6 LDRS creative paper. I just love this. and polka dots. I mean, black and white with small polka dots, you can pretty well add to any image and it's going to look good. And in my case, I'm going to add it to the hanging out set. Oh, love this. You know, there's not enough time in the day to get all of these wonderful stamps colored. So I tried to incorporate as much of this set of products into this 2-card tutorial, because really I have the first one with no line coloring and then the same image here with the Copics. Look at that. And I used the I think I just mentioned it, the stencil and the Copic air gun to put that purple design in the background just to make it different. And we're going to have a lot of different in this card, actually. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So I went to my stash and washi tape. I don't get to use my washi tape enough. I always forget it because it's in a cupboard. And I'm going to put 3 layers on. Now, this is going to be a tutorial where you're going to end up learning how to fix a lot of things. Because it seemed every which way I turned, I was correcting something. But that's good, right? I always like to watch something where if, you know, a boo-boo happens, how do you fix it? Watch my tutorials and you'll find out. You'll find out how to fix a lot of things, believe you me. So moving right along, cut the edges off, and then all I have to do is bulk it up with another sheet of paper on each side. You know that doesn't bother me to have the thickness. I'm going to take my score tool, and as you'll see, one of the lines here just kept in the crease, kept popping up. So later on, I'll show you how to fix that too. First, I'm going to incorporate some gold into the front of the card. And that the 6x6 card, what I did here, because it's 6.5 by 5 3/4, I did have space to put this gold piece in. So here I'm just trying to construct it. I haven't decided on the design yet, but I did know I wanted to put in the strip of gold. So I decided to go with the sides, put the strip of gold in the center, and that way I can follow it through going diagonally with the design and go horizontally with the gold and the polka dots. Isn't that sweet? And then using from your stash the polka dot black with white dots in the washi tape, I thought was wonderful. And the only negative is when I put it down, for some reason, I think it's because of the tape underneath actually, that one strip, just a little teensy bit of it, just released itself, and I thought I'm going to have to do something with that, and I did. It was great. So here we go, ATG comes out. I still haven't put in my 1/2 inch tape in my 1/2 inch ATG gun. Otherwise I'd be using that, of course. But this is the stickiest stuff, the ATG tape in the gold line. I just love it. So here we go. I'll set this down, and I want to just say about the 6x6 paper pack, if you're not familiar with LDRS Creative, it is super thick and it's one-sided. I love one sides. Yeah, I like the one side being the, you know, the design, because then I don't have to choose, right, to use the front or the back. So that just takes something right out of the mix for me right there. I don't have to think too much. So let's put a line of the tape down, and I found this stretchy purple that matched exactly to the Copic color. And I thought, okay, if you haven't watched the no line coloring card and you saw the actual design at the front of that, I wanted to incorporate the same thing here, and that is to have this wave going on here. So I grabbed my mini glue dots, that's what these are, and I am just making the rippling effect with the stretchy ribbon. And when you look to the, oh, I just took it off the screen. When you look at the, oh, there's some more washi tape. Yeah, I set it aside because I didn't know whether I wanted to use more or not. And I didn't want to get up off my chair. I always say that. I tend to get as much stock out as possible. And then, you know, emergency case, I get up and get what I need. So here we go. The mini dot goes on the line underneath That's the way you'll know it's going to be even. And I just keep going all the way down with this rippling effect. I love that. I love the purple. It just worked out beautifully, especially if you were doing like a set and you wanted to have, you know, different designs, but yet a different pattern, but go with the same design, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I always say that because sometimes it's making sense in my head, but nobody else knows what I'm talking about. That's not good if you put tutorials up, right? So good to be back and so great, so great. I don't think that's proper English, but it's fantastic to be back putting a tutorial up for LDRS Creative. And I've had this ready. I just had to edit and do this voiceover for you. And I really do appreciate your comments from the card before that, and everybody that follows my channel. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative of that. Now, I ran out at the bottom, and I'll tell you why. For some reason, it had black on the ribbon. I only had this little piece in my stash, so I really did have to be, you know, conserve it on the side. Isn't that pretty? And then I knew that, what did I say on the last tutorial I was going to bring out more often? Oops, sorry. That has to happen, right? I always get a ding in my videos of an email. But yeah, that black didn't bother me because I'm going to use buttons. Oh, here's the first card. I'm going to show you how I did this beautiful scallop. And then see the colors in there? Isn't that pretty with the Copic coloring? Just a different look. One is soft and one is more, the Copic one is more vivid. So, excuse me, I am running with the, you know, having the scallop. I think it's very pretty. And I think both looks are just fine. You know, the no line coloring look is soft, and the Copic coloring there is just vivid. And yeah, I asked my husband which one he liked better, and he chose this one. He liked the fact that it was very vivid. So excuse me, just a second, I'll be back. I have to cough. Yes, I'm still coughing with this pneumonia. It's terrible. So I poured out some of the purples. Now, I don't use purple very often, and I found this out that excuse me, purples are hard to match. I didn't think there was that many hues in the purple family, but there sure are. And I needed to have 3 of them. I wanted the odd number. Now you can see that ribbon with the gold, the white, and the gold. I took that off, so don't panic there when you see that. I just didn't want it covering up the stencil. I did like the dark and light Copic stencil where I airbrushed it. And yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. I guess I just picked up my mat for a second. And then I went to my stash and found a piece of felt to put on the back. So I'm going to put that. I wanted to raise it up, but I didn't want to have it really high. I just wanted just a hint of it coming off the card. Felt is a nice way to raise up a card where it's affordable, and you can match the color because they come out with so many colored felt pieces in a package. And the ATG runs across it nicely, and then we're going to set up the front of the card and move in to the inside. I had so much fun creating this. And you know, to enjoy yourself with a card, you're going to have to really love the image that you stamp out, right? That starts everything out. When you stamp and color, everything else seems to fall into place if you're happy with it. And I truly was happy with the Copic coloring on here. It just, you know, it just popped off the page, and that's what you really strive for, right? So I have my 3 buttons, but not before I have to cover that tape. Yes, I didn't mind the center showing of the shininess of it, but I had, yeah, get your glasses on. I'm as blind as a bat. I didn't do this card without my glasses, really. I must have had to rub my eyes or something. It's funny to look at it because, Carol, you have to have your glasses on. You can't see. What I did is I took my 140-pound cardstock and I put piece over top of, the three sides, the back and both inside pieces. Distress the edges. And then I found this beautiful gold, really fine thread. It's beautiful. And I just made a triple, back and forth with my hand, tied it in a bow, put it through the button, and we're going to put 2 on the right because that's where I have more space, and 1 button on the actual stretchy ribbon there. And you know what? It just helps you to use up some of the stash with LDRS Creative products. And I encourage you to go over to the shop. There's some fabulous buys over there, fabulous clearance products. I say that all the time. And you know what? Their prices are great to begin with, even if they weren't put on clearance. But the clearance, that's just going to knock you out when you see the prices of those. Just incredible. And their dies are Teflon coated. Let me say that because we're going to get into some die cutting here. And I just love it because you can just send it through and look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Yes. I think I have about 5 pair of scissors on the go there. Yeah, I even have my eyebrow tweezers going there. Yeah, I don't know what I needed that for. I think it was to pull the ribbon through. Yes, I do. It just came to me. So now we're going to start on, I guess I didn't put that piece on the back. Yeah, and it's because I had to cover that line of the washi tape that came up. And so this is how I did it. And I'm just erasing where I had to, make the line to cut it out. And there you go. I'm just seeing, okay, how much do I need to cut off on the bottom? How much do I want to show? And that's what I think what I want to show. Isn't that pretty? I love polka dots. I just love polka dots. And to find it in my stash was even more incredible. You know I like to use as many products on one card in the release. And this release, oh my, everything, like always, you know me, I just love every bit of product that comes to me. It's hard, but I tried my best to incorporate most of it. One thing from out of every set on the card. That's what I tried to do. So I'm distressing the edges, and then we're going to create on all 4 sides of this card. So the reason why it's an hour and a half is because I'm doing really 3 cards in one, right? 4. No, well, 3. The back isn't that complicated. But the inside, you could make a card out of each side of this one card. Yeah. 3 cards in one. That's what I'm calling it. So, I took it off because I could see that it just didn't stick down. So I put some liquid over top of the ATG. Now let's move forward. I used most of everything in this one die set, the Create a Card die set here. And I ran it through my Gemini, and I cut 4 pieces of everything that was in that die, so that it fit on the large Gemini to do that. So it was great. I just ran through it 4 times, and here I'm getting out these scrumptious flowers. Yes, and I did use the flower set, both of them. I used the sentiment in the one, please ignore that. The sentiment in the one to the left, and then the flower here, and then I went over and used a couple of flowers out of that one at the top. So yeah, isn't this fabulous? So here we go. I am going to put some Versamark because I thought I haven't used Perfect Pearls to color with in forever. So I got them out. I love coloring with Perfect Pearls. It's the most vivid color, and it's metallic, and it's gorgeous. And because I'm going to use gates, that's where I got the metallic look from. I wanted to make it look like an old rugged gate in the gold with a little bit of silver on it. So the Perfect Pearls came to my mind, and I put the card there so I could match up all the colors in there in the card. And here we go. Yes, you just need some water, as you can see by my left hand there, and a paintbrush. And I used the Perfect Pearl paintbrush, I'm pretty sure. to color with. And yeah, you don't need anything fancy schmancy when you're coloring. Just, oh, and I also got my watercolor brushes out. I used those. And I used the stamp press here because I wanted to make 2 of them. And I didn't even end up using the second one. I just used this one. But I wanted to show you this in the tutorial, that if you're heavy-handed and you want to have coloring room, you're going to have to let up on your grip. I had to. And I noticed that when I got done heat setting this flower, how much weight I put on the actual stamp press here. So I lightened up my hand the second time just to see the difference, and still see, I still want to really pound down on there. But you'll see the difference on here. I put clear embossing powder and I heat set both of them because I thought I'm going to choose which one I'm going to color when, you know, it's heat set. And look at that. Wait a second. The one on the left is super thick, that really hard press on it. See how thick the lines are? But look at the one on the right when I didn't add so much force. You miss out on certain parts of your flower to color in if you press too hard, because it just moves that powder, it moves the Versamark, and you end up with a nice look. But when I wanted to use it for coloring, I did want as much of the space available. So now I want to put Chibitronics, that's what I call it. My chibis, I wanted to do lights. I wanted to see lights through the gate because it had a lot of holes there. And so I wanted to accentuate the gates, and I'm just drawing it on so that I know where the placement's going to be. So I'm measuring out the bottom. Now, when I took a look at some cards that were created, I noticed that a lot of people put the gate, like the thick part there, you know, at the center, and then the thin part over to the right. But I don't know. I just like the look of having all the metal to the outside of the gate. So that's how I did it. And then I circled around which chibi lights I want to put on there, 3 on each one. And I want a chibi light on my bird cage. So I did that. So you're going to want to do that. Now, I cut this out with my little Fiskars hand cutter. But all of a sudden I thought, Carol, why don't you get out the hole punch thingy that you have? Because it'll be a perfect hole, nice and round out of there. So that's what I did. I was glad, you know, for the glass mat, because it really helps. All you have to do is put that knife down and move your card. Watch how I did that. Like, just move your card around. You don't have to move your hand around. Just move that card, because the glass is taking the force of it and sliding it so it's a nice, easy cut. But if you have anything round, get out that, let me just see what, it's the We Are Memory Keepers, what's that called? It's the Crocodile. Yeah, I noticed that it doesn't say it on them, but it is the Crocodile. It just came to my mind. And there's the short hand one that I really like. I tried that, but the hole in the middle of the flower was too far in. Yeah, you want to do these because they're kind of shaped like a pear. So you want to cut that and, you know, do it best you can. And you're not going to really notice that. You just need to make sure you have enough cut out for the Chibitronic lights to show through. And that's what I'm doing here. And what else was I thinking of? And then you can erase all of the pencil work if you want. I think you're going to want to, because you're going to be coloring. So yeah, that's a good idea. Now I took the die and I cut out the same size white card base on here, because this is where the Chibitronic tape, you know, the conductor tape is going to go underneath there. So you want to trace that out. And then I decided to go with the bird cage. So I just took the Crocodile, I think, and put a hole in the top for that. I'm not too sure as I'm going along here. But the funny, see how the gate, it just fits in there. Oh, that's so nice. So I set it down, making sure again that it was all properly measured out. and then we're going to do some coloring. But first off, we're going to use our conductor tape on the Chibitronic, the electrical tape, whatever they call it. I call it conductor tape. And once you get the Chibitronics down, once you get the concept of it down, you know, it really does, it's easy. It really does come to you quickly as far as the placement of it. And I'm going to show you that. Well, I thought I was. Oh, there's the bird cage. Isn't that cute? And there's the opening on the bird cage. Yes. So you need to cut out this little square to cover your battery. Okay? So this is the one thing you need to have down. And you need to know that the top part is your positive, and the bottom part of this folded cardstock is your negative. So what you see as far as the writing, that is your positive. And underneath where it has no writing, that's your negative on the battery. So I just placed it there, and I'm going to show you. I put some ATG gun over it, and this is what I did. For the negative, I'm going to show you because I forgot to turn on my camcorder as usual while I was doing this. It took forever to do it because you want to be very careful turning the corners. But I have to tell you, Chibitronics has come out with that, like, you know, if it splits on there, I'm just showing you all the positive line and the negative line. But if you get where it cracks, they came out with a little strip. And I'm going to show you that. You get, oh, I think 50 of them. And you just put it over top, and it sends the current through it. You don't have to start over. So here we go. The bottom is the negative, and here's the positive. You go around the flap. You just follow this other line you made with the negative, then chop them off before you get, look at that. And then I added the conductor, I call it conductor tape. There they go. I'm testing it out. Woohoo! 3 are working. It's fabulous. You know what? They all came to fruition because once you get it down, like I said, and now with that tape that goes over it, it looks like a little Band-Aid. It's so cute. And if on your folds, you want to make sure you put one of those. I do just because I know that flap's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, and I didn't want it to break. And, you know, the person that's receiving the card isn't going to know how to take it off and put it back together or whatever. You don't want that to happen. So that's what I did. On the edges of the flap, I put that little, I'll call it a Band-Aid. I'll show it to you in a second. You'll see what it looks like. Now you want to get your lights and figure out which side is the negative and which is the positive. And I'm pretty sure when I'll show you here, the point of this, I think, is always your negative. And then the long part, yeah, see, is the negative. So you, in the triangle, the point part is your negative. So just follow your negative line. The start of it is right there. And this is the top of it, which goes right beside it. And every time you use Chibitronics, you're going to get how space, you know, how the spacing works. So just set down your light once and draw it with a pencil. So, you know, that way you can draw it with a pencil, place that triangle Chibi light on it, and it should really connect easily. Then find something to really press it down. Look at me. I have no problem with using force. Yes. So look at that. They all light up, and you're just going to want to, and if you cut into the tape, just take one of those little Band-Aids, I call it, and it's going to work. And, you know, don't get frustrated with these. They really will come into play. The more you're playing with the tape, and yeah. And if you have to, you can just use, you know, take another one and put that one you just used back, because sometimes they just don't connect. But, then, you know, if you do another one, they probably will. I haven't had a problem with, you know, having to get rid of one. They're fantastic. I just really love Chibitronics. I love the look. And that's why I did them twice. Look at that. Yeah, isn't that fantastic? And then you just take out your battery, and then you have to build a little housing around it. So the two sides, I put 2 high, like 2 pieces of the Scotch tape high. But the rest of it, I built up 3 high, okay? So, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. All of it I put 3 high because I found out, yes, you don't want to have it close because it's so easy to press that. Or once you get the top on, can you imagine if the lights just stayed on all the time? I mean, it takes the whole effect away. Yeah, so build your tape, your Scotch tape up 3 high, and then it's perfect because somebody really does have to work their thumb to press it down and get it to connect. Yes, I ended up doing it too high and I had to take the lid off and redo it. So that's why I'm telling you, make it all 3 high. And you can go over the tape. You can't go over the Chibitronic triangle there, but you can put the tape all the way around to build it up nicely. And you can go over the conductor tape lines. It won't affect it at all, as you can see. And it's 3 high, and then you're going to place the top on and you're going to have these fantastic lights. I love it. Love Chibitronics, yes. And it works well with the LDRS creative elements, yes, to the Build-A-Card set. It's beautiful. So once you have all of the tape on, take the top off each one of the Scotch roll tape and then set it aside. Don't put the lid on it yet. Just set this aside and wait to make sure everything is in working order as far as this is concerned, but you want to finish the top off, obviously, right before you set it down. So I just took all of this off. You can do this later, I suppose. I don't know what I was thinking. I took it all off and I set it to my left, and I'm getting ready to do the front of it because I know this works and it's just waiting for the lid to be taped down. And then we're going to have a beautiful image. So there you have it. Everything is fitting on. I know the holes match right there. So I know that this side is for the right and then the other side obviously is for the left. But we have to do some perfect pearl painting. And wait till you see how beautiful, especially for gates, to have that pearlized look is beautiful. And all you have to do is add water. That's the beauty of it. Just stick it to the side of your mat like I did here, add a little bit of water, and yeah, you're in business. It's just, and look how fast I can paint. Yeah, and isn't this color gorgeous? This rich copper. Oh, yummy. I love it. So I did both sides, of course. I don't know why. That's something I do. I like to do the front and the back, you know. You don't have to because you're going to glue this down. The gate's not going to open, but you certainly could do that. You could make an image where the gate did open. It has a nice area for the fold there to make an open gate, but I chose to put it all down. It dries almost instantly, and what I do to make it stay is I spray it with a fine mist. Now the Perfect Pearls has the binder in it, but some of this is not Perfect Pearls. It is the Pearlex, and it doesn't have a binder. So just to be on the safe side, I just sprayed every image with, whether it was Perfect Pearls, whatever, because I didn't know which ones had it on and which didn't. And I just put a light mist on it, and that will set it. You'll not have to worry about your hand going across and making a mess because it's set. It's already there. You're not going to get any on your fingers. And smudge it all over your cardstock. Just spray mist everything you do when it's finished, and you're set. Now in this die set, oh, it's so beautiful. This stand, I cut the top off because it's kind of like a mailbox. It's all filled in, like it's a total die cut. And it also has the bird cage you can use. Either put it over top of that, whatever you want to do. I chose to make a bird cage so they were separate. I cut the top off of the actual bottom, you know, of the bird cage there, the stand. And look at that. I'm just showing you how you can bend it and make it open up if you have that kind of a design. But I'm just going to put some liquid glue on the back. I'm going to color this all in with the Perfect Pearls. I decided to put the trees. I just cut the the trunk thin so that you couldn't see the trunk behind as much behind the iron gate. And yeah, isn't it pretty? And we're going to color the tree, and also the whole thing actually is going to be colored. I think you're really going to like it. Perfect pearls are amazing. They really are. And I forget to get them out because once again, they're in a cupboard. And yeah, you can't keep everything out, you know. It's like some of it has to get put away. Yeah, so just have little sticky notes everywhere. Use your perfect pearls. Yes, don't forget. So I did one of them in gold, in the copper, and I did one in silver. I wasn't quite sure which one I was going to use after I saw the silver because it really has a beautiful look. Now, look at the color of, I got out a purple, and these color in beautiful, especially with the clear heat set embossing there. It's, oh, this image, isn't it gorgeous? And this would look beautiful on an envelope, just in the corner, you know, to match. I haven't decided what, I think I'm going to make a box for these two. Yeah, like 2 boxes. And yeah, I'll do a video on it. You know, I haven't got a Christmas card up. I haven't got a Christmas card up. What is with that? I'm going to have, I've been so sick and then I've been so busy that I told myself I'm going to get a Christmas card up right after this. So I really pray I do by Tuesday, because that's crazy to go a year without designing a Christmas card. Yeah. So here I'm trying to figure out where the leaves are. Yes, these are these nice fine leaves, but there's also a couple attached to that, to the flower, so to that large flower. And when I punch out with the crocodile, the center there, oh, it's so pretty. I had to use that long crocodile, the yellow one, you know, that has that 9 or I don't know, 7-inch reach. I don't know what it has, but yeah, the small one just wouldn't get that far in for some reason. So here we go. Depending on what, you know, colors you have with the Pearl X or with the Perfect Pearls, whatever you use, and just don't forget, if it's not Perfect Pearls, mist it, because that's going to be your binder to keep it from the powder going everywhere. Just have that nice mist, and then fan your cardstock across the mist, and it's set. I put my hand over it, and it did not rub off. So we're going to have some fun coloring it. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the vibrancy of Perfect Pearls. Beautiful, just beautiful. And you know, you get so many of them. Yeah, I'm looking at it to think, can I do something with the flower and the silver gate, because it was so pretty. It really was. So here we go. I'm going to use 2 greens. I actually go back and do a dark and a light, and then I add some blue to the purple. And when you're looking at it, at least when I'm looking at it here, it looks more blue than purple, but it is a really nice mix, kind of in the middle of a blue and purple. And yeah, I'm trying, and then I go back with this hot pink, but I added the Perfect Pearl white to the hot pink to tone it down, and I used that as my light tone behind the flowers. And then I added some to there it is. Look how dark that one is. But once you get the white Perfect Pearl and mix it together, you come up with this beautiful pink, this light pink. And it really does, like the powder just melts in the water. Beautiful. You can make it as thin or as thick as you want. And I switched over to my water brushes so that I could add the water quickly without having to go into my water pot there, because I didn't want the colors to mix. So this was a quick way. And then I just had a face cloth along the side, paper towel, baby wipe, whatever you have handy to wipe it off. And look at that. Isn't it pretty? I ran it into some of the leaves, you know, however you like it. Yeah, I don't think you can make a mistake using liquid Perfect Pearls at all. Yeah, and you could even do it where you put the, you know, just filled in with Versamark and added just the powder with a brush. That just makes it lighter. It's not as vivid as if you do it with water. You know, it's like no line coloring compared to Copic coloring. One is lighter than the other. So yeah, the choice is yours. And I think it is very pretty. This image by LDRS Creative, the flower sets are beautiful, just beautiful. Like I said, that's why I wanted to incorporate them. Then I'm going to add another flower to each corner, to the upper left and lower right, so that I can punch a hole and we'll get 3 different lights coming through. And the funny thing is on the large, like not this image, but the other image with the bird cage, I put vellum behind the image so that it was, you know, the light was diffused. But on this one, I didn't. I left those little light bulb thingies to shine right through so you could see the light, because the flower's so vivid. I wanted the light to be vivid as well. Oh yeah, it has these little hangers. Oh, you have to see this set. It's beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to move on and we're going to do the trees. I love the idea that it's a half of a tree, you know, so you can use them on corners. I just love that. And then for the trunk, I just used the same copper and ran it through the branches so that it had 2 tones. I did 2 different greens. I go back with a darker green later on, and it dries almost instantly. I have to tell you that you're not sitting and waiting on this at all. The nice thing about this type of coloring, not only, you know, you have that metallic look and it does dry very quickly, but you get that vibrant look that you don't get necessarily in a pencil or, you know, your Copics. It just has something different, and I do like it, you know. Perfect Pearls, I think I got them way back in the day when I began crafting, you know, almost 6 years ago, I guess. Here's the little birds that come in that set as well, the die set. They're so cute. So I'm going to do 3 of them and kind of perch them in the tree because I do have a bird cage there. And yeah, so I am going to work on a Christmas card today. I just got back from getting my Christmas groceries. Saturday. No, it's Friday today. I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, I thought I better get that out of the way. So I got everything put in the fridge and put away, and I thought I better come up and continue on with this tutorial. It's like a never-ending tutorial. Aren't my tutorials long? Oh yeah. So I'm finishing up here and I'm doing the background. Now the beauty of this, you want to add a lot of water because you don't want the background to really stand out. And so what I do to set the background is wipe it down with a baby wipe, yes. So you can add, I just chose to put green on top and of course the blue on the bottom, and there's the baby wipe. So now it's set. You are not going to get anything on your hands at all. It's not going to transfer itself onto another project or, you know, something else you have die cut, whatever, or stamped. That would be horrible because you know how I am with white cardstock. Yeah, just dirt and things find me, my fingers, and then I put it right on the white cardstock. So that's probably why I do, you know, so many sides of my cards. And there you have it. Nice and speedy. Oh, it's wonderful to have the speed section on your computer, isn't it? Like the speed control or whatever you want to call it. So here we go, just putting the lids on. That's another thing you want to make sure you do because as you can see, it just poofs right out of there with hardly touching it. So I end up putting a black piece down here with my white glue, and then I'll put another, you know, the colored piece over top just to give it a tiny bit of dimension. You can decorate it up. There's so many die cuts in this one Build-A-Card set. It's crazy nice. And yeah, just using the Nouveau glue, sticking it down, touching it with the baby wipe because that's going to set it, you know, so that you get the best of both worlds. You don't have to spray it with water, just go over it with your baby wipe. And not very much of it comes off, which is really cool too. So now we have to situate this gate and the next gate. I just put a blob of the glue. See it up in the right hand corner there? Pretty soon it'll be totally on my card if I don't move it. And I use an old paintbrush and I put it on. There you go. And it will dry, so no worries if you kind of, you know, get too much of the baby wipe wet on it. Yeah. And then just, oh, yeah. Wait till you see the chibi lights come on this. Oh, with that metallic look of the perfect pearls. It's beautiful. Yes. Everybody's going to have to walk in the dark with my card. Because you're not going to get the full effect of the chibi lights unless you're in the dark. Yeah, so do you mind turning on the lights out when you open up your card? Yeah, but it was fun to create. I really enjoyed it. And if I hadn't have gotten so sick, it would have been up a long time ago. But yeah, don't have to worry about that now, right? Just get it up there. That's all I'm worried about here. Yeah, just painting it in slow motion. There, speed it up. I'm wondering, why did I put this in slow motion? To show you how to put glue on. Yeah, and I took the little branches and put them over top of the gate. Just kind of keeping it kind of nice, you know. And I really do love when the chibis come on when it's dark. I was playing with this thing forever. I turned out all my lights in the craft room, sitting there just pressing it. Do, 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 yeah. And because I didn't put like press here or whatever, you're going to have to put a little note in with the person that receives it to say press, you know, and this it's I think it says let your light shine. You know, I can't remember. You think I'd stop the video and go back, but I won't. It'll come to my brain in a minute. Yeah, so here I'm trying to think, okay, I better check and make sure all these lights are on before I put that lid on there. You know, it would just be something I would do is set it down and then, yeah. Oh, you know what it was? The vellum. I had to put the vellum down. I'm thinking to myself, hey, what's missing here? There's something missing. It's the vellum. That way, you know, you get a diffused light from the Chibitronic lights. But, you know, I really like leaving it empty without having the vellum. Just let it shine through the holes that you make. I think, you know, if I thought of it here, I don't know if I left it in the edit, but I did I cut into one of the lights just to see what it would look like. And I didn't really like it, so I had to, you know, fix it. I just put another piece of vellum over top of the vellum and it was fine. You're not going to see that. And I thought, no, I think for this large object, I'm going to leave the vellum on the back. Yeah, and it does look nice. I mean, you do get the effect of these lights coming on. Oh, here's where I cut it. This was hysterical to think I was going to do this with the vellum already down. Like, do you want to take more time? I just wanted to see what it looked like. And that's why on the next portion with the flowers, I didn't put the vellum on there. I just left it blank. And I love that look. Just that light brightly shining through the flower, the holes that I made with the We Are Memory Keepers thingamajiggy. It just turned out perfect. Isn't it like, it's crazy how I just know what it is one time and then I forget it in 10 minutes. The chomper, the We Are Memory Keepers, something chomper is it? I don't know. I think we all know what it is. And yeah, so now I am going to put tape all over the place so that I can put it over top of the vellum, and then those chibi lights are just going to light up. And I love the element on the inside of the card. I just like everything about it because you have the animals on the front, then you have the bird cage with the little birds on the back, a little scene, and then you have a flower scene. And then I put the gates on the back with my stamp. Can't get any sweeter than that, you know? And then you can decorate your, in my case, because it's so thick, I'm going to make a box. But even if you did a thick envelope, you know, and you put the maybe a 1/2 inch gusset on, that would be nice. Or throw it in a bag. Throw it in a gift bag with nothing. There you go. There's your card, right? Wrap it in tissue paper. Whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. I managed to cut 5 minutes off because it was almost an hour and a half, and now I'm down to an hour and 25 minutes. So every time I'm talking and I'm watching this come across the screen, I'm thinking to myself, do I really need to have that in there? And most of the time I say, of course you do. That's why my tutorials aren't 15 minutes long. Yes, I think it was 26 hours I had to edit down to an hour and 25 minutes. So that's not bad, right? Yes, I take my time when I'm creating. That's why that I have so much time, you know, so much on the film. So here you go. Yes, it is so cute. Now, yeah, I'm going, please light up. Come on. Can you imagine? I'm just thinking to myself, can you imagine that you get all this done? Oh, that's what I'm using. Oh, I missed that. What is it? You Are My Sunshine, or I Can See You. Yeah, but I was thinking to myself, can you imagine getting everything all done? You go to press it and it doesn't work. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't even tell anybody there was Chibitronics on it. There's your card. There you go. Have fun. Anyway, yeah, it's so much fun. So here's a leftover piece of vellum. I did remember to put the static the powder on. That's a miracle in itself. Oh, You Light Up My Life. Is that, yes. I loved it when I saw that in the other set, in the Cloud number 9 set. It had You Light Up My Life. I mean, and then you press it and you're lighting up your card. It's wonderful. So get rid of that, Carol. What are you doing? I'm just looking at it. Yeah, yes, I really like it. So let's create on the inside of this. Put that down. And yeah, I'm playing with the lights. Yes, you guessed it. What is she doing there? Why do we have to watch that? So I took some Versamark here, and I'm going to put that down, press it, and then we're going to put, well, what I did here, let me just say this. I put the gold on the top, the gold embossing powder with purple on the bottom. But when I did that, I didn't have any of that staticky powder stuff on it. And so I had so many stray little bits, I couldn't get away with it cutting it out with the heart. And you'll see that. Excuse me. You'll see that it just didn't go over. It looked nice from a distance, like, you know, from here to my parking lot, it would be fantastic. You'd have to, yeah. And you can see I haven't used this purple in forever. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just purple. I love it. So here I'm trying to, I don't know what went wrong, but something went wrong. I think I didn't, I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. Let me just look. Okay, maybe. Okay, I'm going to go with a different story here. No, I don't know. I did this, the first half of the voiceover yesterday, like last night. And then I just got too tired. And who knows what I'll say when I'm too tired. So I thought, okay, I'll do it this morning. So I sat down to do it. And my husband came home and said, come on, you want to get your groceries done? And we had to run to Niagara Falls to do that. So I said, yeah. You know, we went to a place called La Coco's. Oh, it's a wonderful place. Look it up. You'll love it. Being Canadian. It's just a fabulous, fabulous store. And yeah, so we were back in an hour and a half. When my husband goes with me, we go. I mean, there's no gallivanting. You go, you get the groceries. So let me just stop here. I cut it out, and then if you get a piece of felt, you know, sponge, and you go over it with your, this tool thing with the balls on the end. I can't believe it. Yeah, look at it in fast motion. I just love it. It will turn the vellum white. Turn it around there, Carol. It'll turn it white. I love this look. But, excuse me, it just, I don't know. So I thought, okay, I didn't like the heart. Something about the heart just didn't do it for me. So I did it again, but I did it with all purple. And then I tried to get a bit of gold on the top, but, you know, the beauty of that Nouveau, I don't even know which one I used, is like Versamark. It really did the job, you know. It just stuck everywhere, and I had purple and a tad little bit of gold. So I got out my handy dandy punch, my oval punch, and I loved this look better than the heart. And I'll show you what I did here. I think I slowed it up. The oval punch was too big. So you know what you do there. That's why I had the tweezers. You just pull it down. I'm not even showing you me putting that's what this tutorial. Like, you're not even seeing me create. Oh, here it is. So no, that's not going to work, Carol. And spitting on your finger isn't going to work either. So why don't you get out your tweezers? I'm licking my thumb. That's what I'm doing there. If there's any inquiring minds that want to know, then I grab my tweezers. Yeah. You know, it's like back in the day, I had all boys, and when their hair would stick up, I'd just spit on my hand, pat it down. It used to drive them nuts. Yeah. So, yeah. Now they're in their 40s, and I don't get away with that. So I just spit on them. I'm just kidding. Please don't don't believe a word I just said. Yeah. So anywho, yep. It's a fun day. So I decided to go around the edges, right, to make like a border and make it nice and white. And then the ray thing sticking up, I just went over that to make it, you know, stand out on the vellum. And I made the oval perfect size for the front of there. You light up my life. I mean, really, lighting up those lights and you light up my life, it was made, that's what I tell you with LDRS Creative. Everything goes with everything. So on this new release that I'm showing you, which isn't so new now because I was sick and couldn't get it up right away, but beautiful. I'll leave all the links on my blog. They're all over there now because of the first card that I did. Basically, everything is over on that tutorial on my blog. So here we go. You light up my life so pretty with the purple. And I am not a purple person. I don't know why. I just don't create a lot with purple, but I really did like this. And this is where I'm hiding the little crease that came up. There was still a little bit that stuck up, so I thought, stick a tree there, Carol. Just stick a bunch of limbs, you'll never see it. And sure enough, you can't. So that's what we do. Just grab something off your island or off your table or whatever craft space you work on. You know, there we go. And I'm just adding that. I'm hiding everything. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I had something on my finger there I had to cover up. You don't know with me. What's underneath my projects? I'll never tell. Isn't that cute? Ah, light, light. Doot, doot, doot. Come on, press it. Yep. I wanted to turn the lights out. I hope I kept that in with turning the lights out. I think I did later. I mean, can you see that? I don't know. That was pretty quick. I will turn the lights out and show you what it looks like. So now I looked at it and it was crooked. There was something crooked with the, see on the left how the dots go up and it goes down on the right? That would drive me nuts at the bottom, like underneath those two buttons. Drive me nuts. So I said, how am I going to get that? I can't cut it off anymore. So I grabbed these pearls. You know, it comes in this strip. Remember I used it for the bridal card? And look at that. You can hide. It looks even. Like, instantly. It doesn't look like I did a thing wrong. Yeah, just add your pearls. Remember I told you that? Pearls solve problems. They do. Just stick a bunch of pearls on there, or diamonds if you have them, whatever. Everything will be pretty. And here's one of the die cuts. It comes with this die cut, comes with a tag that matches the outside, and it comes with the frame. And the frame is, oh my, I'm getting another email. Then this piece that goes over top of this large frame. Then I cut out a large polka dot to go with the, you know, the theme of the polka dots. And yeah, it's coming together. Then I grabbed some of my 6-inch double-sided tape and put it on the back there so it's easy peasy to put on. I actually kept it like I had a flip on it. I was going to flip it open and see the image, but I thought, no, let's put it on the outside. Let it all show. Yeah, she spent enough time creating it. Just don't hide it. Yeah. Just show it all. And then I thought, what if I put that one on the back? You know? And then I thought, no, I have to put my stamp on there, which I should have stamped before it had some bulk on it, but I was just going to let it go because I knew I could cover it up, and it was perfect. Created especially for you by Carol Held. Yes, I love that thing. Got it at the stationery store for like $9.99. It wasn't expensive at all. And thinking of getting another one that says something, you know, not so, you know, created especially by Carol Held. Who's Carol Held? My friends are thinking, I know who you are. What do you put your name on there for? But I send out my cards. I'm going to send out a few of these cards just to random people that comment. So if you hear from me to get your address, you'll know why. And here we are. I put the gates. This time I think I don't know if I put the large part on the inside or not. But yeah, what am I? Oh, I'm looking for another flower. I want a large flower for the bottom right, and I want a small one for the upper left of that flower. So yeah, they're beautiful here. I mean, there isn't one thing in this collection you will not love to use. Let me say that. There isn't one thing. I mean, you know, if my tutorials weren't so long, you know, if I did A2 just the front of the card, you would get a ton of cards with this, but I don't know what's the matter with me. I just have to do, you know, every side and think of all kinds of things, and yeah, just be creative. And this way you get to look at each side. Each one of these could be a separate card. You don't have to use black cardstock either. But you know, if you're using perfect pearls, nothing looks sweeter than putting that perfect pearl wet with the painting. Yep, this little die goes in this set. See it? See how fast I'm going there? Yeah, it's a 3-piece set. It's good for everything. You can use that rectangle for a million things. Yes, isn't it beauteous? So I'm going to stamp those flowers down, and I'm just misting it. That's what I just did there. Misting it. This is so funny. I'm misting it before. Oh, there's the crocodile. I remembered it. See what I'm saying? It just comes to you. But look at it. It won't reach. It won't reach the middle. No problem. I got the granddaddy of all granddaddy crocodiles right behind me. So I went and grabbed that one. You know me, I either buy in twos or I buy one of each thing, you know. Like if there's a 3-inch, a 9-inch, a 12-inch, and, you know, a honking 50-inch, I would get all three of them if I can afford it at the time. And here we go. And I'm just using my Fiskars stamp press. Love that. Love this thing. I like it just as much as using any type of, with the door opening thing. I like this just as much. You think I never crafted before, wouldn't you? Because I can't remember the names of anything. My newly card making people are going to go, good night. Lady, can you tell me what the name of it is? That's why I put everything on my blog. Oh yeah, just throw that over there, Carol. What if it had something in it? That would have been a mess. So I did gold. This is where I got my gold in again. And I'm going to paint on the gold as well. Yeah, I think it looks very pretty. Put it back and close the lid. That's the key for me. Close the lids. Heat set it. Isn't that pretty? Oh, just to do all of it in gold would be stunning. And, Angie, these flowers are... Oh, there's my big granddaddy crocodile right there. I don't know what you're doing, Carol. Oh, I'm trying to find where the biggest hole to punch in it, where it is, because it does so many things. I think I've used this once this year, but you got to have it on hand. I mean, what would I use to punch that out if I didn't have my granddaddy crocodile? Yeah, there you go. It has a small hole and a little hole, so that worked out great. And yeah, I'll put it away till next year, which is only next week, right? Isn't that crazy? 2019. Wow. That is wonderful. Yes, we're all getting older. And here we go. I'm not going to say anything more. So I'm thinking here, okay, I'm not using that other piece. I'm just going to grab I cut out another piece with the die. And this is going to have the Chibitronics on it too, just to show you what the lights look like, the flowers look like lit up. Oh, This is a double whammy. So here I noticed I had one leaf that I didn't have colored. So I had to go back and color it in. There it is right there. Get all the leaves colored. Isn't it pretty? It reminds me of this paint I have. That on white cardstock it shows one color and on black cardstock it shows another color. This is exactly what this looks like to me. And it's beautiful, and perfect pearls are so affordable now, especially, you know, if you get them at Michael's and use your coupons. It's wonderful to have around, I think, myself. I really like it. And I'm glad I found it in my stash and using it. You know, it's like your gelatos. You know, I put those away and I never think to use them, but I love it when I do use them. And yeah, so here we go. Yeah, I'm going to paint. What am I using here? Oh, white. Oh, I'm doing it white. That's right. That's all white. That flower's all white. And it is. This is the Perfect Pearls. And like I said, Perfect Pearls has the binding agent in it. You don't have to spray it with water or hairspray, whatever misty thing you have. Water's cheaper. But if you use Perlex, which I did use, some Perlex, it's just to give it a quick mist with water and set it. It's easy peasy. Look at that. I love it. And when you see these flowers, when I didn't put vellum on it, remember that those Chibi lights are going to shine right through it. A blue, yellow, and red. And together it was gorgeous. Yeah, I'm giving it a extra spritz. Another one. Then you just fan it in the air, and yeah, here we go. Clean it up with whatever. I actually ran out of paper towels. Can you believe it? I went shopping this morning. Did I get paper towels? No, because I always get them on sale at another store here in town. So our Canadian Tire, they always have such good sales. So I have to go back shopping. Ugh. I do not like shopping. I really don't. Unless it's at a craft store, but groceries, I can't even tell you. It was so nice having my husband there because he knows so many people and he stands there and talks, and then I put stuff in the cart. Shh, don't tell him. Yeah, there's about 3 people he knew, and I mean, it's not even where we live because, you know, of our business stuff. He knows everybody, and it's there, hey, and I'm going, great, and I'm grabbing all this stuff, putting it in the cart. Oh, it was funny. It's so funny. I'm sure he knows I'm doing it. You can see me right there, but, you know, it's a psychological thing. I think he doesn't see me, and so I just keep putting stuff in the cart. So now you have to cut that little square out to put your battery. And remember, I bought these batteries. They were inside of those floating lights. You get 2 of those batteries in one. I watch for things like that at the store. And then I just took the batteries out to use for my Chibis. Okay, here we go. You want to make the negative on the bottom. Here we go. The negative is on the inside of your flap. I always make the negative on the inside of the flap. And then you're going to run it across and up. I mean, this is the easiest Chibitronic construction there is. It's in a straight line. You have no really drastic turns. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to just, okay, what are you going to do with the negative? I'm going to go up like that and like that. I think I changed that up though. And then I came, oh, no, take that off, Carol. That's not what you're doing. Then go straight and then come down, come around. And then, nope, that's not going to work. That's going to work. That's why you need a pencil and a good white eraser. And yeah, I was at my stationery store, and you're not going to believe it. Tombow Supplies. They've now, oh, here we go. Let's just show you the positive and negative. And then you're going to put the positive on the front flap after you put your tape on the back. You can use wet tape or wet glue or runner, whatever. I just use the ATG gun, and there you go. Set it down because this is what you're going to press. Your negative, yeah. And look how easy it is to move. Yes. Put your negative right there, get the glue off, and then come around. But I don't have to worry because I have those Band-Aid things that if you make a cut or you have a bend, you just put it over top and it solves the problem. It puts the connection there. So it's great. I love it. I'll leave that on my blog. I will, because I don't think I kept it in this edit. There they are, really fast. There they are. Yes, they're conductive tape. It's called conductive tape. And I put one right there, like I told you before, because that flap, you know, it's right by the flap that's going to go up and down. So I put one there, and the positive now has to go. It has to connect on the inside of the upper flap. So you have the negative on the lower flap and this. Now here's where you have to get your brains in gear, okay? Yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. Look at that, because I'm kind of starting over, aren't I? I don't know what I did there. It's kind of like figuring out, okay, you have to go around and then turn it, because you don't want it on, you know, you can't connect it and it opens up, it'll just break. So you have to do it on the crease. So I came around and then I put a little Band-Aid on there, a little connector later, taking my, yep, get it on there, Carol. And then whatever way you want to go, obviously it's going to be to the left. And then I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to do the positive first. I really don't know, because I was working at this like two different ways. So I guess I put 2 different ways on here. So this is the positive. I'm coming around, and you cut the tape in half. So you get, you know, double. I think of double your pleasure, double your fun with double mint gum. Something like that, eh? And so you get double the amount of tape because you're cutting it in half. You don't need that thick of tape to do Chibitronics. So it's nice they give you a thick portion to cut in half. And then the circles that I made, you just want the positive on one side of the circle touching the circle and the negative touching the other side of the circle. And it's down. Oh yeah, I'm really going now. There's my little Band-Aid. I've got the positive. Okay. Now the negative on the... Let me see what I'm doing, Carol. Slow down. Oh, I know what I did here. You can't go over your conductive tape. You can't go over it. So, you know, they have to be side by side, but not over top. You can put tape over top of your conductive tape, but you can't put conductive tape over top of conductive tape and cross. It's like cross-contamination, I guess. So here I'm just quickly showing you it together. Yes, it takes some brain work here, but you do end up getting it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And then I cut it off right there. My negative piece, doesn't that look nice? It just looks like you know what you're doing, but it does take a little bit of work. And you only have 3 of the chibis. The pointed end is the negative and the longer end is the positive. And yeah, that's it right there. Look how quickly I put it in speed mode. So there's the negative, always on the bottom of your folded piece, and the positive. Oh, yeah, look at it lit up. Oh, each one of them did, actually. I didn't have a problem with this one because it was an easy peasy. You know, there was no real major corners or, you know, 3 in one place like the other one was. So this went quite quickly. Yeah. And don't put the top on it until you put it on first to see if the holes are in the right spot. Yeah. I mean, it'll come off, but, you know, waste time, and you don't want to do that. So here we go. I'm kind of, maybe I'm just cleaning up here. That's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning it up, getting it out of my way, looking for another chibi light to put on there, and there you have it. It did light up. And you really do have to press down so that they do connect to the tape. Let me just say that. Just give it a good, you know, some good force to it, and you won't have to worry about it. There you go. Yeah. This is a real easy peasy, nice, no vellum. Remember, don't add the vellum. You're going to see that little light shine through. You know that little song, "This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No! Did I scare you? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just, I love that song. It just made me think of it. All the nice little Sunday school songs are nice, aren't they? My voice isn't. But, you know, everything, that's what it reminded me of. And I'm doing it 3 high. Yes, don't think too high. You need it 3 high because otherwise, when you press that down, it is going to stay, you know, even. And you don't want that. You want people to have to really press it in. And that's why you're adding the Scotch tape 3 pieces high. You can go over your conductive tape with it. It's not going to affect it whatsoever. And I was super duper happy with the end result of this. If you just did a little card with this and some 6x6 beautiful paper behind it on an A2 size card with Merry Christmas, it would be beautiful. Just beautiful. And then do your Merry Christmas in the purple. It'd be lovely, you know. You don't have to do all of this work to get a wonderful end result on a card. That would just, you know, that would be nice too. So anyway, here we go. I'm just squirting out, yeah, for the back. I find this, yeah, because I don't know what I did with the top of it, but every time I pinch it, the end blows off and I end up with glue everywhere. So I just take the end off. I mean, why try to keep doing it thinking it's not going to come off? It does. So I thought I would just share that with you. We all have that happen, don't we? So here we go. I just ran this through my Xyron and I'm putting it on the back where my created, especially for you by Carol Held sticker is. It's not a sticker, it's an actual stamp. And yeah, I'll work around that and get all of those little booger things that are there, the glue. It does stick. You do get some of it, especially if you rub your hands. That's sometimes the mistake I make. When I run it through the Xyron, then I take it out and the oils from my hand discolor the glue. And yes, it's better to just take a baby wipe and do that right off the start. So here we go. I'm going to shut some lights off here, hopefully, so you can see it. It's so pretty. There we go. Come on, Carol, shut your light. There you are. I hope you liked it and you enjoyed the LDRS creative tutorial. These products are amazing. And doesn't that work perfect? I'll just put a little note for whoever I send it to. And you light up my life and then you just press it. I just need to get some more. There we go. Just get it on the right spot and look it. Isn't that cute? Well, thank you, my friends. This tutorial is finally coming to an end. And you do light up my life. Look at that. Every time you put on my channel and view my tutorials, it really inspires me and it blesses me. So thank you very much. And I hope my tutorials are a blessing to you as well. I love hearing from you. Thank you to my new subscribers as well as my friends that have been subscribing for a long time. I hope to have a Christmas card or 2 out as well. I put one of these pearls on that flower above the big flower. Just, excuse me. You thought I wasn't going to have our friend on this tutorial, didn't you? I wonder how many of you thought that. So I added the pearl to that one flower, and in the center of all of these little flowers, I put a pearl. Have yourself a blessed week, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Enjoy the pictures, everybody.